So, as I sleep in this parking lot tonight, and I'm not sleeping yet, but I'm going to be sleeping in Decorah, Iowa. This is the first time I've slept in this town in like probably, has it been like 27 years, something like that? I don't know. It was like, anyway, yeah, when I was a young kid. Um, I was part of this thing. It was called Leader School, and or actually, I mean, it was this Leaders Club. Okay, it was at my local YMCA, and it was kind of like, well, it was supposed to be different things, like learn leadership skills and stuff. But it was more like a thing for a kid to like have a positive thing to do, and meet some people, that sort of thing was the main purpose of it. And then they once a year they'd have this thing called Leader School, where they would have the different leader clubs from around the central area, like I know it included like Missouri, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois. I know we had a group from Chicago. May have had a group from Milwaukee too, I think. But anyway, so they meet at this place and have this big thing called Leader School. Now, the first year I attended, it was here in this college called Luther College in Decorah, Iowa, and then I think the next year it was, oh shoot, where was the next one? Okay, I forget where the next one was, but then it was another place not too far away in Iowa, and then the third one was I think it was in Jacksonville, Illinois, and then I think it's after that they've had it there ever since. But because I was looking on their website to see a little bit about what was going on with it, and I was, but anyway, so the yeah, it was just it was kind of like a pretty influential thing when I was a kid, and just kind of like a positive thing, where meeting people and that sort of thing, and so it's kind of like had a lot of positive things. Maybe a certain amount of like regret with it, maybe thinking like it could have gone further, like I should have like gone out more, and maybe or tried to meet people more at these things, or maybe really just kind of like kept up with it or whatever. I don't know, just that maybe, so it's kind of like maybe partially that is a positive thing, but also maybe that maybe that I didn't really get it to its full potential as well. So, but anyway, so I'm in this town here. I wasn't sure. I thought it'd be kind of, since I was on the way, I thought it'd be kind of cool to take a look at this area. At first, I wasn't really planning on coming here, and I kept changing my mind as to whether I was gonna come here or not. But then I figured, like, okay, yeah, so it kind of worked out to where I did end up here. So I might as well just go, take a look at the school a little bit tomorrow. I don't know if maybe I'll walk around a little bit there, maybe, and I'll be like the old dude walking around the campus. But maybe, well, I guess I'll just think I'm a teacher or like a parent or something. So anyway, so um, but it's like it's some kind of small school. But the whole thing, like what they would do is at all those leader schools, they would kind of like rent out some dorms, and everybody would stay in the dorms for a week, and then you'd have like a roommate, and then you'd have on different parts of the campus they would have different classes, and then like the usually I think it was like on Wednesday they had kind of like the fun event, like the first year, and I thought that was the most fun one. We went on this canoe trip, and that was real fun. And then it was one of those things too, like, yeah, you were really there's so much activity, just you're so worn out, like from that week, where just like you just like you know as a kid just sleep like a baby that evening, because you'd be so worn out, from doing that, but all the stuff. But anyway, so but yeah, had some cool roommates that during the week. So I remember, like, so I kind of learned, like, I remember, like, I think that the first year was some guy named Brandon, and I think, let's see, he was a big Rush fan, so I think that was the first time I'd ever listened to Rush. And I remember him playing, like, he liked this song called that YYZ, and I remember that song, and then and some other ones. And I think oh yeah, that's right. So I kept getting introduced to different music. I think like the second year or one of the years is the guy first played to me Stairway to Heaven, and yeah, so kind of learned some of that. And then it was but anyway, so yeah, it was kind of like I don't know if I'm going to really recognize anything at this place, because I think there's like I think a couple of the places, maybe there were some similarities between them. So I don't know if in my mind I kind of mix those memories or kind of like synchronize the things, but but it is kind of but I think it'd be kind of fun to go there, just take a look and see if anything strikes me, if I really remember. I mean, I don't know if it's really a thing like where I'm going to say like because you wonder sometimes when you go on these kind of, I call them nostalgia tours, when you go to like try to go see something um that you've seen before, thinking that somehow it's going to connect some dots, or you're going to somehow like, you know, I mean, because I guess we know like from the Great Gatsby, like they said, like you can't relive the past, but but I guess it's kind of, you know, um, my dad always says that too. In fact, I think he says like he doesn't really like. My dad says he doesn't like to go back to like see places a lot of times that he maybe had been as a kid or visited, just because he says that it's like one of those things where he says it's like, yeah, it's kind of, you go back to some place, he says like, yeah, I remember he lived in San Diego when he was a kid, and then or not when he's a kid, but when he's like in early adult, and then he says it was real nice, but then he went back there recently. He says, yeah, and it's just like so crowded there, it's just like so, every one of those hills, you go drive through these hills, like every one of these hills there's like a condo. He says, yeah, it just kind of made me sick or something. You don't think, seeing how it had all changed, so I mean there's always that danger too, like that you can see that like the world kind of like moved on, that it didn't, things didn't stay like the same, but anyway, so a little update of how I got to here, this point. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, right? Yeah, so kind of late in the after, I kind of decided that I need to come back to Duluth, because it was partially because I kind of, this friend of mine who kind of, he had this assignment for this job for me, doing some, helping him do some writing on some stuff, and then he kind of like he kind of misunderstood and thought I was going to be back on Monday, and he had already kind of told these people that I was going to be meeting with him, so it would kind of make him look kind of stupid if we didn't do it. And he's helped me a lot. I mean, he's helped me more than anybody as far as like get into like some of the work that I've gotten into now, so it's like but so anyway, so I decided like, okay, yeah, I guess I kind of decided, yeah, I guess it was time to kind of come back to Duluth too. I mean, there's some other things I gotta take care of in Duluth also, but anyway, um, so I decided, so I kind of got the van together, and if you saw that one van thing, I kind of actually accomplished a lot in a pretty short amount of time, as far as like organizing some stuff and coming up with that one system that I thought was, pretty decent for the short amount of time, because that was something that I kept thinking about a long time, and with that cooler system, and how it's going to help keep that stuff from freezing. And so anyway, and then I decided, just to kind of, okay, I stopped at my sister's on the way out. I decided to go up this way. This is kind of like the longer way through Iowa, but so I stopped by Wentzville again, and hung out there for a couple hours, and then I came up to decided just to make it up to Hannibal, just to kind of, so at least I could kind of be on the road, and then plus I wanted to have a couple more nights in the van, just to kind of like get a little more like a good feeling of like, that have my system worked out and stuff, and now that I can kind of have things organized, like now, like right now I'm sitting in here, I'm kind of feeling good that I have kind of like everything pretty much in its proper place, and not feeling like all cluttered and stuff, and just kind of feeling relaxed. But it wasn't so relaxing last night, because what happened is when I got near Hannibal, all of a sudden, like my belt started squeaking, and then I'm like, oh shoot, what's going on there? And then anyway, so then I made it to Hannibal Walmart, and then opened the hood, and it's all steam's coming out. And so what had happened is one of the hoses had busted, and then so I got somebody trying to text me while I'm trying to do this. That's my friend Patrick. He's in India right now. he got caught up in like these different oh, I guess he's probably awake right now. I could probably call him actually. the Because he got caught up in all these like riots that they're having over there and stuff. They're having these big cast. He was kind of explaining how this cast thing worked, but it was kind of like. But anyway, there's this big, all these protests between like these different, like this lower caste against the upper caste, and they're just like totally like blocking all the highways. It's basically like kind of like that thing that happened, kind of like the Black Lives Matter, but like a much, on a much bigger scale, as far as blocking highways and stuff. And it seemed like it was a much bigger group of people, to where so the police are not able to handle it. So anyway, so the what was I talking about before that? Let's see. Okay, so anyway, so it turned out that I had all that steam on the, or so what had happened was a hose had bust, but then I didn't know which hose it was, and then I kept messing with it and trying to do, trying to fix it. And plus, I mean, the thing is that you know, even if I was like skilled enough to fix it, well, it's possible maybe if I at home I may have been able to fix it on my own. But the thing is, what am I gonna do? Like go to like AutoZone parking lot and like try to get like some big bucket and drain like the antifreeze, I don't. Anyway, in like 10-degree weather. So yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. So then I'm calling around all these places in Hannibal, and then and I found just one. I think they were called S&S, but then yeah, that was the only place I could find that would actually. The other places were saying like, oh, maybe we can get you in next week or something like that. It's like oh shoot, I'm traveling through here. I'm gonna be kind of screwed. But these guys actually got me right through, and even though they were backed up, and they managed to get me done, and it was for pretty, and it turned out to be pretty cheap. Obviously, I was kind of sweating it, thinking like, oh shoot, man, I hope it's not something serious like the head gasket or something. So anyway, so that got me on after that $47, and a couple of hours later, I was on my way. So because of that, staying at the Walmart, even though the Walmart was a pretty good Walmart and it was pretty quiet and stuff, it so that it wasn't too enjoyable sleeping there, knowing that I had to like deal with that in the morning, but anyway, so then today I and then I went and saw the city of Hannibal a little bit, which was actually a pretty neat looking little town, but I kind of didn't spend a lot of time there, but I did kind of see it, and I said, oh yeah, I didn't realize that it was a real scenic looking town, because every other time I ever came through, I just like went through on that section on 61, which just looks like any kind of like basic strip mall part of America, um so anyway, so I came through there, and then um I came up through Iowa, and then I kind of kept changing up a couple times whether I wanted to go through this Decorah, or if I wanted to just go some other way, or anyway, then I tried trying to find there's a couple campgrounds along the way that I tried going to, and they kind of end up being unsuccessful. They're both closed, and then I finally end up like I was heading this way. Then finally I said, oh, I better find a Walmart, and it's like, oh, what's the nearest Walmart? Hey, guess what? It turned out to be it was Decorah. So it's like, okay, so I ended up back here after all. So and now tomorrow I'll go ahead and I'll look at that school a little bit and see how that goes. I mean, that's expected to be really cool, but whatever. And then I guess I'll just oh yeah, and then I could have driven back to Duluth all today, but I would have got back kind of late, and that would have been kind of bad, because then I'd get back, and I'm sure Charlie will be like all barking and real excited to see me, and probably wake up like my roommate and his son, because yeah, my roommate's got a son, and he lives with us, and so it's kind of like it could be a sitcom, like 2.5 Men and a Dog type thing, so it's like but anyway, so but I'm gonna try to get together a Charlie compilation video. I found like on my computer I had a fair amount of footage, but I think there's some other stuff that some other excuse me, some other footage that's not on there, that's on my computer at home, and then so I'll put that together, including the one like where the one where I had come back after being gone for a month, and I found out that actually he was like in the pound, and I had to go down and get him, and so that was kind of but that was a good video. But anyway, so yeah, okay, so oh yeah, the other thing too, so it's like it was, last I checked, it was like 0 degrees here in Decorah, and at this Walmart, which it's actually it's been, I'm a little bit, it wasn't on any list as far as being not allowed or anything, and there's no signs, but I was kind of like a little bit hesitant, because I haven't seen like any, it doesn't look like it's really set up too well for like RVs and stuff, and I haven't really seen any RVs in here, and I haven't seen any trucks yet, although I'll go out and look in a minute and see if I see any, um but it might be just because it's so cold, and then and also because um it's kind of a little bit off the beaten path. It's not like on a interstate. It's more like what is it? It's like, is it US Highway 52 or something? It's a US highway that goes through Rochester, but anyway, but yeah, so it's been kind of real. So that's kind of one thing. Like, yeah, staying at Walmart on Friday night's kind of sometimes not a great idea, because there's gonna be a lot of loud kids out there and stuff like that. But anyway, but I guess it's kind of quieted down. But I thought I heard someone out there kind of like talking kind of close, or maybe I was just hearing my own echo. But Okay, I don't know, it's kind of tough to tell. Anyway, so hopefully I don't get kicked out of here or nothing, so it's like, um, but, because I don't know if it's like when they kick you out, they're kind of like, what is it like? Oh, like if you read the novel 1984, he's talking about like the thought police, like, oh, why they always come at night or something like that. They for some reason they always come at night. So it's like you know, so if the security, if they know I've been here all this time, they don't. But no, I mean, I should be okay. I mean, as far as there's no signs, but I guess there has been some cases, where I've heard of where um, people have been kicked out of Walmarts even though there's no sign or anything, and no, so it's like, I mean, that should be stupid, but anyway, or maybe something too. Like I had a fear too that maybe none of them would believe that a guy is able to stay warm in this kind of like, it's supposed to get down to -13 tonight, but I mean it feels fine in here now. It's probably like -1 right now, and I'm sure as long as I don't run out of propane, I'll be plenty warm in here, and then I guess if I did actually run out of propane, I'd probably jump in the car and just like start heading back to Duluth, you know, but yeah, it's nice and warm in here, and I mean, it's hard to get like a real like even heat in here or something, but with that furnace, because it does get like, you turn it on, it gets like super hot, and then you turn it off, and it starts feeling kind of chilly right away. But it's kind of, I don't know. One thing I need to do is maybe get like some fan to really like blow it or mix the air up better, But anyway, so yeah, so that's about that. Anyway, talk to you later.